All right, back to it. Where were we? All right, so we need some way to convert between our two different cut list types. And in theory, this should be not difficult. Let's see. Let's take a look here. I guess the question is going to be, so if we do something where we do like utils.rs inside of src, please. Pub fn. Let's see, how do we do this? Implement a function to convert. Implement a into list and cut list class. Now, implement into. Wait, okay. I should go figure out what I'm doing. So Rust into trait. Yeah, that's the word. Trait. From and into. Rust by example. Here we go. So we can implement from. This will convert from the thing into another thing, right? Impl from. So what do we have and what do we want? What do we have and what do we want? So let's get rid of this. And we'll go over here. And what we want is cut list. That's the type that we're using everywhere. And what we have is a cut list class. So what we want is, what we have is a cut list class for cut list. I mean, this is wrong. That's okay. Now, why is everything shaded out? Well, this isn't part of the crate currently. Now, the question is going to be, given that this file is auto-generated, how do we work? How do we do? Can we? Let's see. So import.sh is the shell script that we use. So here's the conversion for Rust. So let's put this in types.rs, right? So then if I run the script, and this script is also what, no, I guess I don't know that I have a like automated thing that runs this and refreshes. I think it's just on me for the Rust version. Anyway, so now we have a types.rs and a libs.rs, but the types one is the one that will get auto updated. And so lib.rs, pubmod. Let's see, how can we do this? Mod types, mod utils, pub use type star. Pub use util star? Is this the equivalent of like a re-export? Also, this does... Wait, why does it think... Interesting. Okay, let's go to utils first and sort this out. So, Yeah. Go and it was gonna give it to me. Okay, and then obviously it's not happy, right? Because it's missing fields that are supposed to be in there. Okay, those aren't actually things. We have input media. We have output track. We have overlay tracks. And we have version. And I guess those are fine. Those are equivalent. Input media. Wait. So why did it? Okay, so it reused the structs for the child things, but it made a different struct for the parent thing. It being QuickType, right? The tool. But that's fine. Okay, so we can convert. So like if I close this, I'm not sure why. I'll figure out how that's supposed to work. But this is no longer an error. That works. And that means, okay, so if I remove this, and then I do this, that still works, right? Cool. Let's just cargo build. Don't need that terminal. Let's cargo build and make sure that actually it's not lying to us. So basically what this is going to do is this is going to get the record from DynamoDB. It's going to convert it into our episode struct via some deserialization. And then it's going to pluck out the cut list from the record and return it, which is what the get cut list function is supposed to do. So, or it's going to give an error, which will propagate up and crash the program, which is what we want. That's not what I meant to click. I just wanted to hide the file, or hide the function. I think I hit the that changed lines thing. Okay, so get cut list is done. That got us the cut list. And then we want to do download input files. So download input files is going to fetch things from S3, put it into a temporary directory. A thing I want to think about. So I think there's two ways. So I should let me explain. So we're gonna download files. They're gonna go in temp directory wherever they came from. They're maybe coming from the same S3 bucket? Question mark. Let's say that they are, or maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe download input files will could look in different S3 buckets. Why would it do that? Well, if you look at the cut list type, it has these different. It has input media. I guess it is just input media, isn't it? It isn't. Okay, never mind. From the perspective of the type, they're all the same. Conceptually, the stuff we use in overlay tracks is like static resources, whereas the input media that we use for output track that we select would be like the media files from the stream. Except when it's not, right? Because we have the outro and that's not an overlay. Okay, anyway, it's fine. Let's just say they all come from the same S3 bucket. We download them, we put them into a temporary folder. Actually, given that, let's temp input dir. Yeah. So temp dir here from temp file is going to create a temporary directory, and it will automatically be deleted when temp dir's destructor is run. Cool. And so that will be something I will want to pass to that, and to this function. Right? Because the well, that's the question, right? So the cut list as it is still going to have those references to where the files are in S3. But they will be relative paths. So a thing we could do is we'll create this temporary directory. We will preserve the path structure, like the directory structure of the things from the cut list inside of temp dir. So then run command, what it needs to do is it needs to cd, it needs to be in the temp input directory as its working directory so that all the paths are relative. Yeah. Now, a thing I'm not going to do here that would be a big deal if you are taking untrusted user input. Actually, let's pursue that a little bit further. So first, let's fix this and this. Okay, so that makes the errors go away. Can we say command dot is there a way to set the working directory for this command, or is that process group? Interesting. Pre-exec. Output kill on drop into std gid envs. Okay. Move current dir. There we go. Can we do that? I guess so. Cool. Let's see. So I guess if nothing else, this will be running inside of a Docker container. Just thinking probably what we want to do in download input files. Let's make so to do check that none input files. Do we want to do this here, or there's a step before this, right? No, this is where we're looking at the cut list and finding the files. Have relative paths, right? So that should be relative. Have absolute paths or contain ... So that should protect us, right? Because the concern is like arbitrary input from user gives you a path to a relative path that could allow you to, I mean, that's not going to work with S3. Like if we pass, let's say in S3, the location is like, S3 colon, some bucket and then input dir, right? And then this part is the part that we're getting from the cut list. What if that part is actually like secrets or something that there would be? This is why you have separate buckets for things. But yeah, so I guess it. I think you would have to do a full analysis of what the implications of that are when you are passing this as an argument to ffmpeg in the way that we're doing it. That there are security concerns if you don't trust the input. I think it should be fine for now. And if this ever became a commercial product, a security audit would be good. But anyway, we can at least do this part. So let's do let input paths. I don't think that's not a thing. There aren't. Yeah, it's just like media section. Hold on. Can we go to what is? There we go. Oh yeah, not media section. It's just input media S3 location. Okay. Yeah, we just need to do input media dot S3 location dot clone. Okay, no errors. Okay. So we have a vec of strings. Let's look at something. Can I find like path is a standard? There we go. The path structure represents file paths in the underlying file system. Two flavors of path: POSIX and Windows. A path can be created from an OSSTR, provides several methods to get information file directory the path points to. A path is immutable, stored as an OS string. So is it going to make sense? Let's do something really quick. Let's test path equals path new. Yeah. Can we just do that? I just want to see what the okay. May I please have a path? Yeah, I just need to import it. There we go. So test path has methods. Canonicalize returns the canonical absolute form of the path. We wouldn't want to do that yet. We want to say runs true if the path has a root. Okay, that's not exactly what I want to do. Is absolute. Okay, on Unix, yeah, is absolute has root or equivalent. Is dir is file is relative. It would be convenient if there was a method that does what I'm trying to check. Strip prefix. Starts with. File stem, file name, extension exists, ends with display components. Let's see. Components produces an iterator of the components of the path. When parsing the path, there is a small amount of normalization. Repeated separators are ignored. Occurrences of dot are normalized away, except they're at the beginning of the path. A trailing slash is normalized away. No other normalization takes place. In particular, A/C and A, B, .. C are distinct. ancestors. Let me just go ahead and convert this to path. And we just need to do into. Does that work? Nope. Why not? Sure. As ref. Can we convert a string slice? Oh no. Is it as str? Okay. Interesting. But why? What's the complaint here? I can't have a vector path? The size for values of type array U8 cannot be known at compilation time. Within path, the trait size is not implemented. Huh. What if I asked Copilot to write this for me? No, it's just wrong. Input media dot s3 location dot clone. It's probably wrong. Into is wrong. Into. Hold on, can we... Did I try something simpler? Yeah, still doesn't like it. Can I do into path? Is that an option? Nope. Okay. Now I have to do that a different way. Okay. Backing up. So this works. How much do I care? Yeah. So this just looks at the string and says if it starts with a slash or contains ... it's an invalid input path. That's gonna break things. That's cute. I don't necessarily want to panic either. I want to return a result. But I can't do that inside of a for each. If any path is absolute or path contains... Now let's do this. Path string. Yeah. Let path is... It's a path. Yeah. And then if any of the components refer to parent dir, which seems like is a thing, or if it's absolute. And then we get rid of this false. And no, we can't do that. We can't constrain. Same thing. It's not satisfied. Okay. Can we do as str into? Okay. Can we just specifically say path new from path string? Yes. Okay. Can't use into though. Directly wraps the string slice as a path slice. This is a cost-free conversion. Cool. So what's this warning? Match expression look like matches macro. Try matches. Huh. Matches macro, you say? Can we try it? What does that do? Okay, if any of the component matches. So, okay. We have a matches macro. Returns whether the given expression matches the provided pattern. So, the expression is component, and the pattern is parent dir. If any of the components match parent dir, so if there's any dots in any of the things between slashes, we reject it. If it starts with a slash, we reject it. That probably does the right thing. So if this happens, return error. There you go. All right, that's what I was looking for. Okay, so now can we actually implement download input files? Maybe. So we have a follower. Hello.
Andy Gamers who just followed.
Thanks for the follow, Andy Gamers too. Hope you're doing well. So we could do. So this would download one at a time from the input media list, right? So we would. Interesting. Input path new, input media S3 location. Output path is temp input dir join. Input path file name. So we don't want to do that. That output path needs to be. What we want to do is we want to mirror the structure of the paths from S3 so that when we populate the temporary directory, it matches the layout from the cut list to make it easier to deal with, because otherwise we would need to probably generate temporary files inside of the temporary directory and then update the cut list to refer to each of them. And I don't want to bother doing that. If we just mirror the directory structure, air quotes the directory structure, because there aren't really directories in S3 as a service, they're just keys, and then the UI provides certain affordances to make it, you can look at a directory because it's like everything with the same prefix. So we could do something similar to this, and then what does this do? This gets our S3 client. It does a get object from our input bucket with the S3 location. It reads the body. It creates a file, and it copies the body into the file. Okay, so it does a download. And that might work. So the upside is if we're downloading one thing at a time, we're not going to run out of memory trying to buffer things. But we are downloading one at a time, and that is potentially slower, which is a downside when we're downloading, a render like this is going to be across 3 or 4 20-minute video segments, and those are several gigabytes. So we're downloading like maybe up to 10 gigabytes of video to do the render. Maybe we should do those in parallel. We already have input paths, which will be our keys in S3. So download the input files in parallel and wait for them all to finish. So is Copilot going to write that? Let's see. So we are going to...
Their pants we're going to wear tomorrow. And the next day. And the day after that.
Does that do that? Let's see if Copilot's solution is acceptable. Let's see. Okay, so first of all, we broke our. Let's just fake it. Fake our return type. Also, yeah, I guess output downloaded input files doesn't return anything. That's fine. Path is not satisfied. So where's path coming from here? That's this. What are we doing with path? Okay, so that's wrong. What we want to do is we want... Oops. So what are we doing here? So we're gonna join. It takes another path. So if we just join path, get rid of that. Yeah, and then path is just that path string, so we can just use that.
Their pants we're going to wear tomorrow.
And then what we can do is we can actually rename this. What is that? That's F2, right? This is just key. S3 object key might be nicer. Okay. So let's think about this for a second. So this map operation does some things. What is this async move block? Okay, I think this makes sense, right? So this is the thing that this map function returns. So this is the equivalent of like in JavaScript or TypeScript, you mapping over an array of things, and then or something along those lines. So you're iterating over something, and you are transforming it, and you are transforming it into a promise, and then you're returning the array of promises, right? So that's why we have download futures. At least I think so. I definitely know more about JavaScript and TypeScript than I do Rust. So things I don't like this unwrap here. What is the type of body that we're getting here? This is a get output object. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Download output.body. I can only find the B key. There we go. That can be a function. And that is... What is that returning? A byte stream. What is a byte stream? It is a thing. A byte stream can be directly created. Okay, I don't care about that. Let's start at the beginning of the docs. Okay, a stream of binary data. Byte stream wraps a stream of binary data for ease of use. Let's make that a little bit bigger. I'm gonna get rid of the sidebar as well. Wraps a stream of data for ease of use. Getting data out of a byte stream. Provides two primary mechanisms for accessing data with collect. Reads the complete byte stream into memory and stores it in aggregated bytes. Or two, via next or try next. We probably don't want to hold all of the byte stream in memory. One would think. So we are trying to use this Tokyo IO copy. Asynchronously copies the entire contents of a reader into a writer. So does our download, our byte stream implement async RAID? Into async RAID. Amazing. The RT Tokyo feature must be active. Interesting. So let's try this, and we'll figure out what we need to turn on to do it. Okay, so here's the stream. And we just do into async read. Into async read. Okay, so that is the thing that should be passed as the reader. I mean, it was almost like it was already there. I was doing it. I just, you know. How do you feel about that? Is that valid? It doesn't like something here. So this block evaluates into something. Type must be known at this point, right? So we have kind of a, this can fail and give an error, and this can fail and give an error, and this can fail and give an error. And so this value will be of type result. Let's see if I can get Copilot to do this for me. What? Hold on. What is the type parameters for this? Consider specifying the generic arguments. Sure. Right, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do, right? Except E needs to actually be specified, what E is. Yeah. Like, hey, there's a thing here. What is it? It's some kind of error. Okay, so what's the problem now? Cannot move out of a shared reference. Move occurs because the value is type 80-bit SDK S3 primitives byte stream, which does not implement the copy trait. Into async read takes ownership of the receiver self, which moves the value. Yes. And what's wrong with that? What if we said reader? Yeah, and there is no unwrap. There is let mute reader, or this should not be mutable. How do you feel about that? No, it's expecting a mutable thing. So that has to be that way, which means that has to be that way. And then we're back to this error. Full compiler diagnostics. So move occurs because the value has type byte stream, which does not implement the copy trait. How do we fix? What if I didn't have a reference? Oh. So if I just have the byte stream and not a byte stream reference, then when I call into async read, it's fine. Apparently, for reasons. Okay, so now download features is the thing I want to wait for it to happen. Apparently, there's a features feature try all join. Nope, no, there's not. If only. Import features? Which features? Tokyo task features? Tokyo sync features? I don't know. I feel like there's a thing that I did. Searching for join is not going to be helpful, is it? Tokyo join is a thing, but I don't think that's going to do what I want. Maybe it will. Let's give that a try. Use try join? Is there Tokyo try join? Yeah. Well, Copilot thought there was. Let's see if that's actually true. Nope. Or at least not like that. I might have to go look at the docs here in a second. Map, iter, something string. Closure is not a feature. Yeah. No, yeah. Let's look at this. Right. Is there just like a function? Okay. We're done looking at the docs for path, right? Tokyo join futures. There's a macro. How to use Tokyo join on a vector of features. Features util feature join all can do the job. Yeah, we could do that. Second one is not parallel. That join macro. Let's see. Task. Not what I'm looking for. Try join. Current branches returning when all branches return with OK or the first errors. Sure, but what if I have a vector? Join set. Okay. Something like this. Let's try it. For feature in download features. Set.spawn, the feature, while Let's save this so we can get the error that we need to import the thing. Yep, import that. Okay, so now spawn dine error cannot be sent between threads safely. It's not implemented. Yeah. So the issue is that the thing that we're saying that we will throw as an error cannot be sent across threads. So what do we want to do here? Cool. And this can be much simpler because this can just be a string. Well, that can't be, but there we go. Right. Is this necessary? What about just doing async here and getting rid of this? Something like that. Remove the await. Right, of course. Yes. Async closures are unstable. Can't do that. Oh. What did I do? Obviously, there was a thing I was just looking at where we were doing Tokyo join, and we're just doing the things. Right, but this is a fixed set of things, whereas I have a dynamic list or vector of things that I want to do. It's a bit different. Huh. So, easy fix. We just take this and no, but we're closing over like context and temp input directory. Can we move this part into a function? Yeah, maybe. Let's take this. And we refactor, extract into a function. That is a fun name. So it takes an S3 object, S3 client, a bucket, a path. Takes a bunch of things, and it returns. Well, it should just be a static string, yeah? What did I break? What did I do? Oh, I see. I'm missing a curly brace. Here. Okay. And then we don't await. Right, because it's not an async function. And right. Whatever the error is. Oh, I see. So, right. In this construction, this is still going to attempt to return out of the function. I will rename the function shortly. Rather than okay. Let's just do this a different way then. Map error. Yep. Yep. So we will explicitly handle every place, and then we can get rid of this, get rid of that, and get rid of that, and then yeah. Okay. So now we move on. We have some other errors. So, lifetime may not live long enough. Returning this value requires that one must outlive static. Wow, it's been another hour. The last hour has flown by. So when it says one, what is it referring to? Is it referring... Declare the trait object captures data from argument context. You can add an explicit lifetime bound. I don't think it does, though. So can I not do that? Can I not do this? Can I just pass context? Just change around this function a little bit. Context. Okay. F12. Yep. So S3 object key, but S3 client and bucket can go away, and then this can be context. It's an app context. Then we will get the S3 client from the context. And we'll get the bucket name from the context. The config input bucket clone. Okay. Still not happy. Why would it be? Aw. Okay. Okay, so, oh, I see. Okay, so right here. So context, app context, let's call the lifetime of this reference 1. So, returning this value requires that 1 must outlive static. Declare that the trait object captures data from argument context. You can add an explicit underscore. Okay. So where we're using box dine error in our function that is yet to be named, but I'm not. don't get that. What if it's just like this? Can't do that. Interesting. I mean, I think I can just, I could, you know, what is it? What did it suggest? Introducing, where is this? Like, this is not a thing that exists, right? Run command has that. Update job record main has that. Oh, I see. Download input files. I see. Oh, so we're talking about here. Hold on. Okay. Will that shut it up? Oh, and it's gone. Hold on, let me put something back here really quick, and then we'll get the error back. Oh, I see. I'm missing. Yeah. Hold on. Plus that, and then it wasn't smart enough to realize that there need to be 2 of those there, and this is wrong, and everything. Hold on. So if I just introduce an A lifetime and say, oh, here, it's that. Is that? This doesn't make it happier. App context cannot return value referencing local returns value data by the confirm. Okay, so this is not true. It's not what I want. I'm gonna go back. Probably will need to just stare at the more. Okay, I need to just stare at the error for a little bit, I guess, and think about this because I don't know. I'm doing something wrong here. Let's see what Copilot thinks. I think I've tried this a few times with these kind of lifetime issues, and I don't think I've ever seen it succeed. We'll give it a minute though. See if it can do what I couldn't. I do need to see about getting some lunch though, so we'll probably wrap up here in a minute. So while we're waiting for Copilot to think, let me go see if we can find someone to raid. Who is streaming? Who is doing coding? Who am I following? ModProg is doing some Rust. All right. We actually have someone doing Rust dev right now. What did it think it just did? Yeah, and then it did E to okay. Does this change anything? Type annotations needed, can't satisfy. We don't want to do E into. We want to do this, is we just want a static error string. Yeah, which means this doesn't do anything for us. And that means we are where we started.
Just followed.
Hey, Kotlini, how's it going? I'm just about to wrap things up though with an error, unfortunately, still here that I need to figure out how to solve. But we're gonna go raid someone else doing some. Looks like they're doing Rust-based web dev. There's something about web dev. So let me get this going and get a raid message going for you. let's see, exclamation raid and raid. All right, so I want to say thanks everyone so much for coming out to the stream today. Next stream should be tomorrow evening. I'll be doing some modded Minecraft gameplay. More coding next Sunday. Glowing Telegram is the name of my the project that I've been working on stream for the last year. It is, let's see, I have a video. I think this command might still work. There you go. If you want to know more about it, it's also on my VODs channel, which is what the Glowing Telegram project is all about, is taking my Twitch videos and turning them into YouTube, Twitch streams into YouTube videos. But yeah, looks like we're good to go for the raid, so I'm going to send you on. Thanks again for the follows, Andy Gamers and Kotlini, and until next time, take care.